So about 10 years ago, I was living back in Boston, probably about a year after I'd started going to the gym, and I roll up to Boston Sports Club. And it's a chain gym, so it wasn't the location that I normally went to. And I was looking for the weight belt. Couldn't find it. So I find a trainer, and he's sitting there next to this fat power lifter guy. And I'm like, hey, do you know where the weight belt is? And before the trainer could answer, the fat power lifter's like, why do you need a weight belt? Like clearly insinuating, you look skinny, you look scrawny. Why do you even need to use weights, bro? And I'm like, because I'm trying to do weighted dips. And then the trainer's there, clearly kind of embarrassed. This guy's insulting the clientele. And he's like, oh, I think it's probably just over there by the stretching area. Can you just go check over there? And I was so angry after that, right? I was all up in my head thinking about all the nasty insults I should have said to that fat powerlifter. Like, bro, why would anyone care what you think? You're fat. Do you even work out, bro? And that's number one. You need to understand the psychology of hate, because when someone does something hateful, whether it's a comment like this at the gym, it's a guy at the bar eyeing you down, or trying to talk to your girl, or it's a comment. I'm sure if you scroll below this video, there'll be some awesome hate comments. I always get some really good ones. You got to realize that the action of hate is not just isolated, right? There was some motivation, some thought that went through that fat powerlifter's head before he decided to make me feel like shit about myself. He probably gets all of his importance from being, the veteran at the gym. And when he tells off all these young, scrawny people at the gym, it makes him feel powerful and important. Or some common hate comments I get will be like, your girl's ugly, I hate your teeth, or just the basic one, this guy's a loser, no one should listen to him. Well, it's like they say, hate comes from below, it never comes from above. There's never a confident guy who's on his mission leaving hate comments, because he's getting his feeling of importance from the action he's taking and the progress he's making in his own life. He would never even have the thought to leave a comment like that. These guys feel insignificant, and if they hate on my girl, that means that their lonely life, it's not so bad, because at least they're not with that ugly girl. So here's the main message. Whenever something like this happens to you, you should not have to think of a clever response or make them feel bad about themselves, because you got to realize this person's in a really rough spot. They're doing really bad. You should actually feel pity for them. And that's why sometimes you'll see I'll drop a reply to some of these comments and say, seems like you're going through a tough time, brother. Keep your head up. And 9 out of 10 times within minutes, that comment is deleted. You could do the same thing in person. Someone says some mean shit to you, you can say, damn, man, it seems like you're in a rough place. I hope that made you feel better about yourself. Because when you do this, it forces the hater to complete this circuit of thought in their mind, and they have to become self-aware that they just did this because of how sad and insignificant they feel. Another low-key life lesson. Once you get over 30, apparently even having 4 drinks last night has me a little bit hungover, so we're doing a little brunch. It's actually Sunday, a little brunch with the pups to revive ourselves. How are you feeling?
I feel fine. I'm not that old, apparently.
Our favorite brunch spot, Rosa's, always with the good vibes. And for the meal, we got some eggs on avocado toast. And the brother man's up here. He even got him a little salmon macaroon. Salmon. You like salmon? Ready? Important question for you. What is the darkest thing that's happened to you? What is the most traumatic thing that's happened in your past? For some guys, it might be serious. It might be that they were abused at the hands of a family member. For other guys, it might not be so serious. For me, it was my basketball career. Basketball was the thing that made me feel proud and happy growing up. And then my freshman year of high school, I got benched, which was garbage, and the coach was very verbally hard on me. And it made me feel kind of worthless, but I didn't even realize what it had done to the rest of my life until years later. When I was in my mid-20s, I was reading this book, I forget the name of it, about trauma, and it asked this question, what's the darkest thing that's happened to you? And can you see maybe how it's affected your life? And when I thought back, I was like, well, damn, basketball is what made me feel me. And then once that was removed, I kind of felt worthless. And then as I got older in high school and my friends were starting to date and talk to girls, I didn't feel like I was worthy of girls, because I no longer did I have that thing that made me proud. And it's so stupid. It's like this small thing that happened in my past that ruined my confidence for years. And when I realized it was like this weight had been lifted off of me, because I could look back and laugh and be like, what, fuck that coach. Who cares? That's so long in the past. I don't need to hold on to that anymore. I can start moving forward with my life. So for you, maybe it was some abuse from a family member, or maybe there was an ex-girlfriend who made you feel worthless after you broke up. Identify that thing, become aware of it, and it's going to remove a lot of the power that it has over you. Now, real quick, do you want a better sex life in 2023? I ask because up to 50% of men have symptoms that get in their way of enjoying or having sex. But don't worry, because the sponsor of today's video, Roman, they got you covered. If you're struggling to last longer, they offer Roman swipes, which are discreet, they fit in your wallet, they're clinically proven to work, and they don't require a prescription. Or if you're struggling with ED, they offer prescription medication that will help you achieve and maintain a stronger erection. They even offer testosterone testing and treatment, because treating low T can help revive your sex drive. And the best part is, with Roman, everything is online, which means you don't have to wait in line, you don't have to go to the pharmacy. If your prescribed medication is gonna arrive right to your doorstep with free 2-day shipping. And because Roman is sponsoring the video, you know that they're hooking it up. You can use my unique link below or go to aro.co/beast to get 20% off your first order. That is aro.co/beast to get 20% off your first order, or you can click that first link in description to get started now. Check it out. When all else fails, the pre-workout will revive you. So look, in life there are no absolutes. There's exceptions to every rule, but something that tends to be true is that the cool and popular guys in high school, they tend to be losers later in life, where they work a dead-end job, they never really move outside of their hometown, and I think what happens is everything is served up to them on a platter when they're younger. They have the looks, they have the athleticism, all the women come to them, and then because of that, they never have to go through any tough shit, and they never develop a thick skin or a strong work ethic. Why does that sound so funny? You see the same thing with a lot of pro athletes, where they retire and they haven't built up the skills they need to succeed in the real world, and then they're broke. The people who are like the true winners are the people who stay consistent over the years. Maybe they have a really bad year where they lose a lot of money, or they go through some divorce or something, but they always bounce back because they understand that, life is a game of seasons. Just because you take an L this year doesn't mean that you can't bounce back next year. The problem is that most people, they either follow the path of the cool and popular guy, or they're a loser younger on, but they let it break them. So I think probably the biggest factor in my success has been trying to take a very even keel mindset, where if we get a big win, we release a new Edge collection that crushes it. I try not to be like, oh yeah, baby, we winning, because that can get robbed away from you at any moment. Your girl can cheat on you. She can break up with you. How many of these crypto millionaires just had all of their net worth taken away, because of Terra Luna or FTX? You gotta stay even keel when the wins come and take the mindset of, okay, that's dope. How do we build on here? How do we repeat this success? And then when the losses come and you're painful and you feel like you lost everything, you have to realize life is long. You're not a loser because you lost. You're a loser if you look at yourself as a loser. You have to take the mindset of, all right, this sucks, but what steps can I take so that I don't find myself, at least so I don't make the same mistake again in the future? Gains, bro, workout complete. Let me ask you a question. If there's a guy who's married to a girl, or he's dating a girl, and the girl, let's say she doesn't really respect him too much. She nags him all the time. She doesn't hook up with him ever except if it's on her terms. She flirts with other guys. Is that the girl's fault for taking advantage of the man? Or maybe is it the man's fault for allowing it to happen? A lot of y'all might disagree with me for saying this, but I think it's the man's fault 100%. It doesn't mean that the girl is a good person if she's doing these things, but from my experience in life, people only take advantage of you, at least repeatedly, if you allow it to happen. Like, I would rather be single than being in a relationship with a girl who doesn't respect me. I would just end it at that point. I would rather work a minimum wage hourly job versus working a high-paying job for someone who doesn't respect me and tries to take advantage of me all the time. Granted, while I was working that minimum wage job, I'd be trying to grind something up on the side. It's like they say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. People don't just start taking advantage of you out of the blue. Like, a girl who's cheating on you or taking advantage of you down the line, almost always up front, she was probably, texting on the date, showing up late to the date, withholding sex, doing all these things, and you just let it slide rather than establishing boundaries from the beginning. As a rule, people, not just women and men, are selfish, and we will get away with what we believe we can get away with. So what you have to do, and I wish I knew this even earlier in life, but what you have to do is whenever someone does something that's not okay with you, you need to address it calmly and directly. You don't need to be looking for fights everywhere like, yo, fuck you, bro. You really asking me to work late today, boss? I'm out of here. Wait a second, bitch. You just take your phone out on the date. Get out of here. I'm done with you. Now, in those moments, you take a breath and you say, you know, hey, look, Mr. Boss Man, it seems like maybe you didn't plan so well for this weekend. I'm willing to help you out this time, but in the future, you know, at least give me 48 hours notice because I have some plans I'm gonna have to shift around. The girl who's on her phone during the date, you say, hey, looks like maybe you got something going on. Can you wrap that up and then put your phone away so we can hang out? That's the mindset. It's always my responsibility to create the situations in life that I want to create. But if the boss or that girl, they continue to do the thing that you asked them not to do, well, that is when you have to say, peace out, bye, nah, you're not gonna be part of my life. And now the most important part of The Hangover here, a nice little movie. We're checking out this one called Confess Fletch. I guess like a comedy thriller with John Hamm, who's usually pretty solid. How do you think it's gonna be? 9 out of 10. A 2 out of 10 only? All right, we'll see.
My father's paintings were stolen. The Picasso was appraised at $20 million.
Well, it hardly seems worth stealing.
So just realized I forgot to review the movie that night. For me, 9 out of 10, highly recommended. Great, like it's funny. It's got a little bit of a heist feel to it. Big fan. If you made it to the end of this video, make sure you check out this one next. It's about 3 keys to getting rich in 2023. And let me tell you, investing is not one of them. And if you're new to the channel, click right there to subscribe as I drop 2 new videos every single week and you don't want to miss them. I'll talk to all of y'all in the next video. Stay beastly.